Uh, yeah.
How are you guys?
Well, thank you.
I will say this. I love the thing the most about the show is that it leads with her intelligence. As I think as a parent of a young Black woman, she's almost 24 now, my little one, is
Oh.
that she will always be my pumpkin. We don't stress that enough, to have examples to say stand firm and being smart, especially like my daughter was a quiet child, so she didn't have her self-confidence until later. How important was that for you as the creators, as the producers, to emphasize it's cool to be smart? It's okay to be outspoken. It's okay to say, no, I want to do it this way because that's my vision. It's one of the things I love about RiRi.
I think when a black woman, when a young black woman has permission to be her full self is when the power is truly unleashed. And Riri's case, she's got the mental capacity of 40, 50 people. Like she can think circles around everyone around her. And she's based on my mom. She's based on my mom, who happens to be a mechanical engineer and computer scientist from Illinois, who went to Northwestern and did a 5-year program in 4 years. She's my mom's the bee's knees and has never apologized for her intellect in front of me. And so I wanted to create a character that wouldn't apologize to the people around her for being smart. So at no moment in the show does she back away from her brilliance. At every moment in the show, she's confident, and I think it's powerful.
And I think the other gift is she's also figuring out how to navigate this world as any young person, right? She's worried about the things that young people are worried about, where her future is going to lie now that, school is looking a little shaky. Her finances, how to navigate friendships. I think these are all normal things as we transition into adulthood, Your bestie from high school, it may not be your bestie anymore once you go into your 20s. How important was it also to show that balance? Because I think that is your 20s. I wish someone else would have said it to me when I was in my 20s. Like, that's normal. It's not you being a bad person. Like, how important was that for you guys to show that? Can you speak a little bit about that aspect?
It was super important to strike the balance between Riri, and her groundedness and her living and existing in and around Chicago in the way that a 20-year-old would, and knowing that she's had the opportunity to visit Wakanda, has had the opportunity to already have these major battles and fights. She's tested her suit in a real way, in a way that she can't really talk about in our film, but it is there. So I think it's so much more fun to play with, what would happen in my 20s if Marvel suddenly, like, if Marvel sauce suddenly got dumped on it, as opposed to what would happen to Marvel if the 20s suddenly got introduced. I think it's more fun to douse a grounded world with a little bit of the Marvel sauce, or to sprinkle a little bit of Marvel sauce instead of dousing it.
And Ryan, can you speak? One of the things I love that you said recently is women invest in more women directors, invest in more women creatives, their point of views, and I'm paraphrasing, make creation and make this business better. Can you speak a little bit about that? Because one of the things that you have prided yourself, and whether it's consciously or subconsciously, is to work with women and letting women say, hey, this is good, but we need to do it this way because we wouldn't do it this way.
Yeah, yeah. The internet is weird because that's from an interview I did with a guy named Chris Chapley in 2015. That's
Mm.
from like 10 years ago.
Wow.
Um, and I saw that it popped back up again. Um, but yeah, like I think that it's an ironic time
Mhm.
to be asked this question. It's a quote the great Malcolm X had about um women in America, specifically Black women, that I think about often this year. Um, and you know, I think more than just filmmaking to be better off. You
Mhm.
know what I mean, with an equitable presence um uh from women. You know what I mean? Uh, you know, every 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 phase of society loses
Mhm.
when you know, these roles are gate kept. When people are bullied out of these roles or denied, you know, you just lose. You know what I mean? Like we in this thing together. You feel me? So like, you know, so my aspect on it, you know, you know, it was that 10 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Like it's that now. You know, and this show is fueled by that concept. You know what I'm saying? What does a Marvel show look like? When the right people for the job are given an opportunity and not made to feel like they gotta diminish themselves. And the show is about that, thankfully. You know what I mean? Like you know, you know, the character says these things. You know what I'm saying? And we get to see, you know, but we also get to, you know, what's great is you got an incredibly ambitious character, juxtaposed with the loss of somebody whose main goal is to be happy. You know what I'm saying? And that person is taken away from this character. And that character's ambition brings the person back. You know what I mean? So you know, to me, you know, I could have never come up with that idea. You know what I'm saying? That's Eve Ewing, that's Chinaka Hodge, that's Sam Bailey, that's Angela Barnes. You know, like this is, you know, Zenzi Coogler, Zoe Nailhawk, Kelsey Lou. You know what I mean? Like that's what that is. You know, I'm honored to stand by and be helpful. You know what I mean? Yeah, and I wish that you know, I wish that that space was made for that, and not just filmmaking, but everywhere. You know what I mean?
What was great for me about the process is I'm often the only in the room, only woman, only Black person, only genre writer. And this time I was in company with all the people who understood. So I could have arguments about the writing in a way I've never been able to have an argument before. Where people say, "Oh, this feels extra." I used some language and Eve was like, "That feels kind of like a lot. You could probably pull that back." And I've never had a voice like that before around. So it was really great to see what would happen when Black women got empowered to collaborate in earnest. Some of my favorite moments on screen are when that happens.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for your time. Best of luck with the show. Really enjoyed it.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you.
Absolutely.